Hi, welcome back to another Take 5 with David Krayden, and we've got a we've got a great little piece for you tonight. Because did you hear that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just made a surprise visit to Ukraine? Except it was about as much as a surprise as Trudeau's annual birthday, because obviously they were expecting him, and Trudeau had made some plans. We're going to be showing you some video in a while that kind of demonstrates that, because clearly Trudeau is once again using the international stage as a distraction. But there's a number of issues here, because if we go to this video with Trudeau arriving at the presidential palace with his sidekick, Deputy Prime Minister / Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. Freeland's about the same size, actually, as Volodymyr Zelensky, with two Ys. And you can see in some of the pictures how much shorter Zelensky is. And I decided, to wear a T-shirt tonight because that's exactly what Zelensky always wears. I don't think he owns another outfit. It's sort of like military athletic wear. And he's always wearing his green T-shirt with these green fatigue pants, combat pants, and that's basically been his uniform ever since the war started. And so this is my little homage to Zelensky. And it doesn't matter if you like Zelensky or don't like Zelensky. I for one can't stand him. I think he's a clown, and I think he's been a clown since day one, masquerading as some kind of latter-day Winston Churchill. Unfortunately, there's enough Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives who are prepared to give him that he's lapping this stuff up. He just loves the adulation, loves pretending he is, in fact, the Winston Churchill of the 21st century. And all he's doing is keeping his hand out. So foreign governments can continue to give him money. And Trudeau is in town not just to say hello, as he's apt to do, and not just to hog some camera time, and to make his usual pronouncements about how he's doing so much for world peace and democracy around the world. He was there to give Zelensky another $500 million, $500 million, again. I want you all to watch this clip.
We're really thankful for everything you did for us.
We will be there with as much as it takes, for as long as it takes.
These pictures, it looks like this bromance brewing between Trudeau and Zelensky, like they are just absolutely in love with each other. It can't pass your attention that both of these men are actors. Justin Trudeau, the drama coach, the drama teacher from Vancouver, who has done nothing but spew theatrics ever since he became prime minister. Zelensky, the professional actor turned politician. And he has been playing Winston Churchill, probably about the same height, actually, but with a little more hair and a lot more guile. And that has been exactly what's been going on with this whole charade here. Now, we have another clip for you I think you're really going to like.
Стійте! Зупиніться! Неможливо одночасно танцювати і керувати дроном.
Чому б ні? Можна робити що завгодно і як завгодно. Головне – виконати завдання. Вперед!
Жаліються знову орки, що вони воюють з НАТО, але це такі відмовки, українці шлють від НАТО. Свою землю захищають файні хлопці та дівчата. Підійму я пташку в небо та знайду координати. І летить на там граната, що ці втіслимо собаки. Підкоригую, і відпрацюю на.
Now, this clip is really interesting because it shows you the kind of souped up propaganda Justin Trudeau's office is capable of doing. And that's all this is sheer propaganda. And don't be fooled.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour à tous. I'm pleased to be joining you with my friend, President Volodymyr Zelensky, tonight. When I realized that I'd be missing this year's press gallery dinner, I wanted to make sure that I could still speak with all of you, because the work you do is incredibly important. And because this is a scary time for journalists and for democracies. And you know, we all talk often about fighting for democracy. Well, I'd like now to turn it to someone who knows a thing or two about fighting for democracy. Volodymyr.
Thank you so much, Justin. I greet you all from Ukraine. Thank you for standing with us, with Ukraine. This is often the case, and especially often with journalists and correspondents, when life challenges you to choose to become a hero. Sometimes it is much easier to avoid choosing and stay somewhere in the gray zone between the good and evil, just to pretend to be neutral. But everyone who does not avoid it, who defies the evil, who calls a spade, can become a hero for more than just one day. We live in times when our freedom depends on all of us, when the world should know the whole truth about every crime against freedom in one part of the world to keep the freedom everywhere else. The evil now claims not just one country but values, our values. It claims to destroy them. And I thank you all for not tricking with the evil. Thank you for telling the truth about Russian war crimes. Thank you for using your power, probably the highest power in the modern world, the power to decide what holds people's attention and what people know. Thank you for using your power to give guidance for people and humanity. Thank you. Thanks, Canada, and you, Justin, my friend, the friend of Ukraine, Prime Minister. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава.
Дякую.
And did you hear, while he's over there dispensing with the $500 million, which, by the way, he hasn't got for our own Canadian troops, but more of that in a minute. He decides to tell Zelensky that Canada is going to be Ukraine's guarantor of security. Now, what the hell does that mean? Trudeau's in no position to be a guarantor of anybody's security, even Canada's. God knows he couldn't keep Canada secure without the United States doing it for us. So how is he going to guarantee Ukraine's security? What's he going to do, declare war on Russia? I mean, we are playing in a dangerous game here. We're using words, using phrases, using diplomatic terminology that could actually translate into a war. And that is what is so frightening about this, is that people are not thinking before they're espousing policy, before they're formulating ideas that in the end can be very dangerous. And speaking about that $500 million, Trudeau can't even give the proper helmets to our Canadians who are deployed not far from Ukraine, but in Latvia. And those Canadians who were deployed in Poland, not far from Ukraine, couldn't even get their own meals reimbursed. We forgot to send the cook along with the troops. So they're buying food, they're buying meals on the local economy, as is known in the military, except they're not getting reimbursed because there's such an administrative backlog back in Ottawa that the families are suffering. So while Trudeau's playing Diamond Jim Brady with the Ukrainians again, he's shortchanging our own Canadian troops who are deployed in the same theater of operations. God help him and God help us if they somehow stray into World War III. We have been playing with that possibility for the past at least 8 months. And every day that possibility increases to some small degree, incrementally, but it's there. We're getting closer and closer to conflict with the Russians. Ukraine should not be a member of NATO. No, sir. The club has gotten way too big. The chances of inciting a war, a major third world war, are that much greater with each country that joins. NATO used to have a mission. NATO used to have a raison d'etre. NATO used to know what it was doing. Now all it seems to be doing is fomenting World War III. And this is unacceptable. So I hope you enjoyed the clips, but it's absolutely outrageous what's going on here. Trudeau, once again, playing the big-time statesman, which he isn't. And I wonder why he didn't lecture Zelensky about LGBTQ rights while he was at it. Didn't stop him from lecturing Italian Prime Minister Meloni. Didn't stop him from lecturing the Polish Prime Minister when he was in town. And you know what? The situation's even worse in Ukraine for Trudeau's favorite constituency. And yet, not a word, apparently, or at least he didn't talk about it like he has before, making public statements about how he has to make things right in these countries for the LGBTQ agenda. Not a word. Betcha he never mentioned it to Zelensky. That would be impolite, wouldn't it? That just wouldn't be a diplomatic thing to do. Hasn't stopped him in the past. Hasn't stopped Trudeau, the authoritarian, the censor, the dictator, from telling everybody else how to run their countries and what policies to promulgate. Hasn't stopped Trudeau from grandstanding on the world stage as this great savior of democracy, when in fact he's nothing but a shallow authoritarian. And then, to tell you the truth, a big joke at times. So I hope you enjoyed that Take 5 tonight. It's because there's more coming tomorrow, and there's more coming as we watch exactly what is Justin Trudeau up to in Ukraine. Because you know, it can't be very good. I hope you're enjoying this channel as much as I enjoy putting the material on here. This is not just about politics. I sing some of my favorite songs from the Great American Songbook. And you can also watch my latest show where we do some of the news you're not going to hear anywhere else. But please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If you want to be part of this station, please be a subscriber. We want you.